Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry. Today we got our preview of the next summon showcase, and as many of you predicted, we are getting Gala Dragalia. This is a special showcase where 5 stars have a base appearance rate of 6% instead of 4%. The pity rate automatically resets after 60 summons, meaning you're guaranteed a 5 star within 60 summons, rather than within 100 as it is on normal showcases, and brand new powered up versions of characters are introduced. These are Gala versions, so think of legendary or mythic heroes if you're coming from Fire Emblem Heroes. So we got our trailer today. I haven't taken a look at that yet, but I did see the in-game notice, so I know what character to expect here. But we're going to take a look at the trailer together for the first time. I'll play it in English and then play the Japanese in case we can get some more insights. And after that, we'll hop over into Dragalia Lost itself to check out the notices board and read up on the new character. So here we go with the first trailer. So we have this flame background, Gala Dragalia coming soon. And of course, Gala Mym, we have waited so long for it too. People have been wanting her since the very first Gala. And oh my gosh, will the prince and Mym finally be together forever? Dragon Claws, her first skill, deals flame damage ahead and raises the dragon gauge if the attack connects, which is pretty cool. Haven't seen that before. And Flames of Passion deals flame damage to enemies in a line. That's also pretty good. Mym will always shapeshift into Brunhilde regardless of her equipped dragon. It looks like Brunhilde has a fiery aura, so maybe she's powered up there as well. And from her second shapeshift on, she'll take the form of High Brunhilde. 5-star appearance rates will be boosted to 6% from 4%. And that's about it. Then we get the dates of availability. And I think that's the end of the trailer. So I'll go ahead and play back the Japanese trailer. Maybe we can take a second look at her skills, see if there's any new details in that version of the trailer. But as for the inclusion of Gala Mym herself, I am really stoked to see this. She was somebody I thought might be a possibility because she kind of got a glow up, a power up when it came to chapter 8 of the story. So if you haven't done that yet, I won't spoil anything, but there was a contention, or there was a possibility that she could be the featured Gala character, and I was also thinking it might be Ella-san. I think a lot of people are thinking that too, because she featured pretty prominently in that story. But I think with Gala Mym, it comes at a good time since we have a new raid coming up that's going to be favorable for Flame Element adventurers. It's pretty awesome to see her transform too, and the fact that she has unique animations that aren't on the normal Brunhilde or High Brunhilde is also really cool. As we'll see in just a moment, her kit is very focused on dragons, dragon transformation, which fits her character, so that's awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the Japanese trailer. Not a whole lot of extra detail in that one, but we'll discuss more of that once we switch over into the game itself, which I'm going to do right now. Alright, so I've pulled up Dragalia Lost, and let's go ahead and take a look at the notice we got for Gala Mym. So announcing Gala Dragalia, it's going to kick off at reset tonight, so starting on May 27th, or possibly May 26th, depending on your time zone. And we can read here about Gala Dragalia. Basically, you have a higher chance of getting 5 stars, but any 5-star, not necessarily the focus. Typically in the past, the focus character has still had a 0.5% base chance, and basically that increase in the possibility of a 5-star is in the off focus, is in the so-called pity breakers. But if you just care about getting 5 stars in general to power up your collection and aren't trying to snipe or target someone specific, then this is a pretty good time to summon. You can get a lot of 5 stars with relatively little Wormite. So besides that, it mentions limited time Gala Dragalia versions of adventures will be added that are only available during these galas, and they happen about every 2 months, so we should expect with this coming out at the end of May that the next one will come out at the end of July. So that's kind of what you should know about Gala, and like I said earlier in the video, the pity rate on these does reset after 60 summons. So if you do 6 tenfolds and don't get a 5-star, your next tenfold is guaranteed to contain a 5-star, or your next single is guaranteed to be a 5-star. The other aspect to this is we've never had a Gala before without Wyrmprints in the summoning pool, so we'll have to see if they assign that Wyrmprint summoning chance to dragons and adventurers evenly, or how they split it up, but that itself makes this pretty exciting. All the 5-stars you're going to get have a certain minimum level of value because of that. Now, as for Gala Mym herself, she's waited so long for this moment, and I think they were really speaking to the fans with this, because people have hyped her up and really wanted to play as Mym for a long time, and I almost wonder if this decision wasn't made somewhere along the way in response to that feedback and the desire to play as Mym. I think it's awesome that we get to play as her, and for those of you who have beaten High Brunhilde's trial, once you obtain her dragon and view the dragon stories, you actually get some insight into who the person Mym was, because this form, this human form, was a real person in Alberian history that Mym had a relationship with, or that Brunhilde had a relationship with, and then she assumed the form of in the current storyline. So I think it's kind of cool, and I'm excited to review her adventure stories, just because it might not be about Brunhilde, it might also be about the original Mym. So she is an attack type, very high strength stat, pretty good amount of HP as well. This strength stat makes her around 10th in the game at this point, pretty powerful. The Flameworm Brunhilde, who assumed a human form to be closer to her darling, the prince. Her love knows no bounds and burns hotter than even her own fierce blazes. Awesome. Skills include Dragon Claw, deals flame damage to enemies directly ahead, and raises the dragon gauge if the attack connects. From the video we just saw, it looks like a very small amount of dragon gauge increase, but with this being a primary skill, you know, the cooldown is going to be probably pretty favorable. So if you can do this repeatedly, that could be an extra dragon transformation during a match, which is significant. So we'll have to see just how much it is. It looked to me like it's maybe 5%. That might even be a bit much, but it looks like a fairly small amount. So I'm not sure what to make of it, but I love that they're making her interact with the dragon gauge at all, because she is a dragon. In a way, she's our first Gala dragon, even if she's not a proper dragon in terms of this game. So her second skill, Flames of Passion, looks like it's just going to deal damage, but actually really awesome because she's a Flame Lance. The 5-star Flame Lance, the core weapon, Calamity Trigger, it also has an attacking skill, so 3 attacking skills is awesome for an attacker, so not bad at all to see that. Then as a lance, she has the HP co-ability. It goes up to 15%. Pretty helpful. It could make surviving against high dragons easier. It is nice with healers on the team. It means their heals will heal for more as well. It's a nice co-ability to have. It doesn't necessarily help with offense, but it's still a pretty good co-ability. Her abilities are Flameworm's Nature 2, Flameworm's Defiance 2, and Dragon Time of 20%. Dragon Time is the only one that's an existing ability that we're familiar with, and this is the same ability that's seen on Xainfried, who also has a dragon-centric kit in some ways. But Flameworm's Nature 2 is new, and it gives her burn res of 100%. So she actually has dual resistances, but they're split among her 2 abilities, which is also new, even for a Gala unit. So besides burn res of 100%, when she transforms for the first time, she'll shapeshift into Brunhilde regardless of what dragon she's equipped with. Her strength will increase by 15% for the remainder of the quest, and the skill Flames of Passion will be powered up for the remainder of the quest. Awesome. Now besides that, the second time onwards, she will transform into High Brunhilde instead, and her attack rate while shapeshifted will increase by 15%. That is also really good. Now, it's not clear whether these Brunhildes or High Brunhilde forms are actually completely unique, or if they just have some unique flourishes in the animations. The High Brunhilde dragon form is actually one of the best in the game. It has a really quick to use skill compared to other flame dragons, with the only weakness it really had being the aura, or the percent buff it provides to the equipped unit. High Brunhilde as an equipable dragon provides 30% HP and 30% strength, when you tend to usually want 60% strength for flame adventurers when you're outside of the dragon form. So you could equip an Agni or Cerberus to Mym and get to enjoy that 60% strength boost while still getting to transform into High Brunhilde, which is one of the best flame dragons. So to me, it seems like a win-win. The regular Brunhilde is not as good, but it looks like they souped her up and maybe changed her attacking skill as well. It didn't look like she was using Muspelheim, it looked like she was doing a Flame Breath in that video. So if that's the case, then this could all just be totally different, and we'll have to wait to see exactly how it works. However, this ability itself, 100% burn res, what's essentially like a small Dragon Claws effect with this 15% strength increase, as well as the Flames of Passion effect, and then finally an attack rate increase for Dragon form, is a really nice ability overall. It fits well with Dragon Claw, her attacking skill, since it means she'll be able to transform multiple times, hopefully, unless you're fighting someone with Dragon Delay, like Zephyr, Void Zephyr. Her second ability, though, Flameworm's Defiance 2, reduces susceptibility to stun by 100%. The stun res is probably more relevant than the burn res. However, one thing that's kind of neat about her is between burn and stun res, those are the two types of afflictions that flame enemies commonly use. In Flame IO, there's stun. In High Brunhilde's Trial, there's burning. So I kind of love that Mym can sort of fight fire with fire, and she's a flame adventurer who is immune to the effects or the afflictions of flame enemies. That's kind of cool, and also fits with one of the story beats in Chapter 8 that I won't get into too much here. So when Mym is hit by an attack that would have stunned her, the skill gauge for the Dragon Claw skill fills by 50%. After activating, this gauge filling effect will not activate again for 15 seconds. Also pretty nice, as there are some unavoidable stun-inducing moves. In High Midgardstormer's Trial, it's basically just the first attack, although you could take some additional attacks, like the dash attack for instance, and maybe get to enjoy that Dragon Claw benefit. So it's a 50% boost to the Dragon Claw skill gauge, and you might have to play around a little bit to make sure you get stunned or would have gotten stunned at the right time to actually enjoy the skill gauge fill, but still it's a nice effect on top of a resistance. Most normal adventurers just have 100% resistance and no secondary effects. So just the fact that Mym is a Gala character and has another effect on top of a dual resistance, it's good, It means she's pretty good as a character. Now, unlike Gala Sarisse, she isn't your one-stop character for all wind content just because there are wind enemies who induce sleep. Because of that, I would say she's not necessarily the strongest Gala character, but I don't think that's going to be the reason most of you want to summon. It is still hard to snipe on these Gala banners, especially since so much of the percentage of summoning is assigned to those off-focus 5 stars, those random 5 stars that can show up and break your pity rate. So I would go for this banner if either you just really love Mym and regardless you want to give yourself a chance to pull her. Since she will be on focus, this is probably the best time to try to do that. Or if you just want to get a higher value for your Wormite and try to get a lot of 5 stars. I wouldn't necessarily pull just because of Mym's kit. As unique and awesome as I think it is, and I really do love how it's so focused on dragon transformation, I don't think that it's particularly suited to any content. Sure, it'll be great against High Midgardstormer. You can probably even beat High Brunhilde with her pretty easily. She'll probably be great for the new raid that comes out, but I still don't think she's really needed, and like I said, unlike Sarisse, her 2 affliction resistances are not aligned in an especially helpful way, given she's a flame character. One last note I want to say is, as far as building her goes, I think you definitely want skill damage. It would be cool in the future if there's a Wyrmprint that comes out with Dragon's Claws. I think that would be awesome on her. Right now, the only Wyrmprint with that, though, is the Shining Overlord, which is a specialty print for sword adventurers, so even though this has Dragon's Claws, this sword skill damage is wasted, so hard to justify using it on her. If you're going to take her to High Brunhilde's Trial for whatever reason, just to meme on Brunhilde by beating her with Brunhilde, you know, it could be kind of fun to use something like Dragon Brethren. Give her even more dragon time. You could equip Hilda as a dragon, since she has a dragon time ability too, and basically give yourself the maximum amount of dragon time possible. But ultimately, that probably just amounts to a few extra seconds, so I don't think something like that is really great. I think you probably would be fine to just run a skill damage print on her, and then a strength print or a critical focus print like Levin's Champion, and that would be perfectly fine. That's pretty much all I want to say about Gala Mym. I think she's awesome. Good luck if you're trying to summon for her. I will probably do at least a few summons on this Gala myself, just to see what 5 stars I'm able to get. If we happen to get Mym, that's great for us, but if not, hopefully we'll be able to get something that's helpful to our collection. Alright though everyone, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think of Gala Mym in the comments below. Otherwise, take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.